Hello and welcome everyone to another play session with me, Kay, here at Lunarlight Games. So we are currently on our second session of Season 28 of Diablo 3. Let me just go ahead and get set up and we'll continue along our grind here. I hope you guys are doing well on this Tuesday morning, almost afternoon. It is quite cold here and very rainy. But let's see here. Let's configure the stream and we'll get going here. Okay. That should pretty much be everything. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So the last time we were here, we had just finished up doing Chapter 1. Now we're on to Chapter 2. So far, so good. We have quite a few things to do. And I think for this session we'll start on grabbing the cube before we move back to leveling up. I wonder, can we, It's hard to tell what we can make here. Well, let's just make a wand, I guess. Everything's set to level 1, so it's really hard to determine what is what. All that will work for us. And let's get something on our offhand. Like these things. No? Maybe not. That's fine. Those are much better. Okay, let's get moving, shall we? So we want to gather up the cube, which we can do so over here. These are always tasks that you should complete every season.
Baal has invaded Sescheron, but we will fight until we are no more. For we are all that stands between him and our sacred mountain. And I swear, by the blood of Bolcathos, hell will pay dearly for each of our deaths.
I don't have enough arcane power.
Okay, cool. So, with every season, we pretty much have to complete the usual tasks. Grab the cube, complete however many Greater Rift runs. The beauty about each season is that they acclimate you to your usual tasks that you do ordinarily in Diablo 3. They're just a quick milestone system for you to gather everything in order for you to get prepared for running Greater Rifts. Which in some cases can be, helpful if you're a new player, but if you've played this multiple times, you pretty much know already what you're going to do. Well, let's go get that cube. Maybe if we're lucky, we can start getting some bounty items and start cubing some legendaries. I wonder if anyone's ever gotten the other conquest for killing 350 enemies in one event. Sweet. So that didn't take long at all. We're already up to level 52.
They took their apprentices and set out into the eastern swamplands. They were never
We'll reach level
Chief Elder Kanai was
level
the
70
best
in
of
no
us.
time.
He could have been the next immortal king. None have come close to bringing the tribes together since Warrusk. But Kanai could have been the one to change that with his indomitable spirit. Though as strong as 3 warriors, his true strength
that's weird.
lay in his compassion.
Stick drift is starting to take effect. Yeah, so of the controllers that I currently have, I've about 3 PS5 controllers, and 2 of them have already succumbed to stick drift.
Arcane power. Still waiting.
The last one I haven't really been using, so I haven't been able to check whether it will eventually drift, but currently there doesn't seem to be any hard fix. It seems like PS5 controllers are just really fragile compared to the PS4 controllers.
We showed Baal and his army what it meant
I know
to
this
fight
because
true
I have a brother
warriors.
that's been using
When
the same
Kanai was killed, it
PS4
froze the
controller
spirits
for
of our
quite a
bloodied ranks.
while now.
That was when
And
the
he's
battle
far,
was
far
lost,
more rougher
for
on
he was truly our king.
his controllers compared to I am. And he plays far more first-person shooters anyway.
A great challenge lies before us.
Sweet. There's an extra belt.
This is rot here forever.
So we're already at level 53. This has taken no time at all. The sooner we can reach level 70, the better. Because then we finally get access to Greater Rifts. And then we can start progressing further along into our altar. For now, though, we still got quite a bit of grinding to do. 17 levels. Shouldn't be too hard. We reached level 50 solo in one session. As soon as we get the cube, let me have a look at the stats so far. Has anyone completed that conquest? And if so, crap. Which classes were they using? Wow, this enemy is too strong for us. Yeah, we don't have enough strength or intelligence to tank hits from this thing.
I'm injured.
This probably has something to do with our gear. It's fine though, I think we'll survive. Let's keep moving on, despite the difficulty.
Need more time. I don't have enough arcane
dare
power.
attack me?
This is just the way it goes sometimes.
Nicely done.
Sweet. 54. This has taken no time at all. I'm gonna see if we have some better things to equip. Energy armor. Nah, I don't see anything good there. I would kind of like for us to move a lot quicker, but we'll worry about that later. Don't see anything good here. Yeah, so we'll just skip the rest of this. I'm gonna use this so we can reduce the cooldown. Although this kind of means we can't teleport.
Your grave awaits.
That's okay though, because I think having the ability to just face roll everyone is much better. Let's stick on that thing and keep moving.
Dren, the last of our seers, prophesied the darkness would soon pass. He was wrong. Mount Ariad exploded
Still
and
waiting.
took our souls
I need
with
arcane
it.
power.
Many of our dwindling number were lost that day to madness and worse. They are the unclean.
Rumors swirl that the Crusaders have returned, and that they mean to go to the west. But who are these
Sometimes I wish with
armed
these
warriors?
Western
They look
RPGs that
nothing
the
like
story
Crusaders who
takes
set out from
a bigger
Travancore
precedence.
200 years ago, and those who inhabit the ruins of that ancient city
With
suspect trickery.
Western RPGs, it's usually the opposite. It's gameplay first,
years wear
above
on
all
us
else,
all.
and then story.
Only a few still live. But we have made a good account of ourselves.
And while that's
All
nice
but the
for
most
some
vicious of the
games,
flesh
at other
eaters.
times it makes
To think they were
the game
once
feel
our
very
kin.
empty.
As long as even one of them still lives, we are all shamed.
Not ready yet.
Okay, so those enemies are wiped out. Where the heck is the exit? Maybe over here? Feels like we've been wandering for quite a while. Anyways. Huh. That's weird. Seems like there's a bug here.
Canai's cube. The cube was used.
That was
by
really
my
strange. What was up the
American
name?
brothers in many of their most complex rituals. When its potential became clear, they began to fear its power. The fools.
Safety at last. You have not only my eternal thanks, but
Anyways,
also
enough of
the
that.
thanks of the world at large for rescuing me.
Let's equip the new boots and we'll outfit our follower. And then we'll move on.
I will use this.
We can get rid of this. There's no special ability that we can extract from it, so that can go in the trash. Let's see here. I think we can probably make some better gems. Like this one here. I also forgot about the red one. Crap. not enough, not enough money. Let's take these out and socket some better ones. Okay, moving on. So what next on our checklist? This one's going to be a while. We still haven't reached level 70 yet. We don't have materials for that. We need to get to level 70. We are not level 60 yet. That can wait too. We could probably do this one. This one's right there. Bounties, 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 and queuing an item. For now, let's focus on getting up to level 70. Above all else, we need to do that first.
Prove yourself.
Plus, it's just grinding. Nothing more difficult than that. So we're just going to run through, use Archon, and we don't have any legendaries popping up yet. We have to wait until at least level 60 for some of the good stuff to start dropping. Although even now we could probably cube some items if we had the right ones. I need to look on the build guide for that to see what we have on the menu. Let's just wander through, smash everything. This isn't the right way. Okay, so despite having 2 cups of coffee today, I still feel somewhat out of it.
I'm just warming up.
I really need to get a better sleeping schedule. Anyways, let's take care of these enemies. Thankfully, chaining enemies and getting a high combo is much easier this season. Granted, that is if you're following along and using the altar.
I am unstoppable.
Need more arcane power.
There we go. Let's put on that new piece of armor.
If only they could see me now.
Okay, so we just went from doing like what,
More powerful.
a couple 100,000 to now suddenly doing millions. You gotta love the power creep.
I need arcane power.
Sweet. Let's grab that thing, and we are on the wrong path. I wonder, can we jump up here? I'm gonna wait until Archon... No, so we can't jump up there with teleport. What about here? Well, we can. It's not nearly as powerful as Monk's teleport, but oh well. We'll make do with what we have.
I need healing.
Crap. Well, that bull right there just charged straight through us.
I'm injured.
There's no real way to avoid attacks with the wizard. You pretty much just have to plant your feet on the ground and hope that you can outdamage enemies. Okay, so finally a reset.
I must.
Not good. Let's get rid of you.
I am so good. I astound myself.
So 56, we're very close. Only 14. We're getting there.
I'm just
Still waiting.
warming up.
Hopefully we can continue getting better drops. It's not so bad.
Need more time.
So, some really nice news to update you guys on.
Are nothing.
I got one of the promo codes for
I am stronger still.
the PlayStation trading card game. So, the TCG has some promo codes that are currently being given out if you sign up for their mailing list. It's very limited, and you had to have signed up for it in like the past 5 to 10 weeks.
Healing.
And I guess they just recently started giving them away.
Healed.
It's pretty nice. I think they're for the Illustrator cards as part of a limited promo.
I'm just warming up.
I think the last time I got one of the codes, I managed to get one of the... Oh, is it? It was like a Charizard Illustrator card. They're pretty nice,
Not ready yet.
but highly
They could see me now.
subject to random chance whether you get the code or not. I know some people who are very excited to
Rift Guardian is here.
try to get one and they weren't given one at all, so this was a very good random stroke of luck.
I didn't think I could get any better.
Sweet. Can we...
I need healing.
Can we not kill this dude? Or is he just too strong?
Need more arcane
Still waiting.
power.
I think we can take him down, it's just... we don't have nearly enough. Oh, never mind. We can just sit right here. He's not going to be able to hit us. Oh, crap. Hey, what's up, Dardoon? Thanks for popping by.
Badly wounded.
Well, he's not going to last any longer. Okay, there we go.
Need more time.
got some better gear. And let's move on. Okay, so it seems like we're so close.
Returning to town.
Only about 12 more levels to go. I am feeling fine. Feeling very perky. Had 2 cups of coffee. So I'm wide awake. Normally I try not to go overboard with that, but... Well, woke up pretty early today. But how are you doing, Dardune? Let's see. Let's finish gearing up here. It is quite chilly today. Okay, so not a whole lot of XP there, but we are getting close. Only 12 levels left to go, and then we can start filling out more of our chart. And once we start on the Greater Rift, even better news. Okay, so before I move on, let me see here. How are things looking for the conquests? Okay, so last time we looked here. Okay, so more people have completed this now. But has anybody completed... Oh, okay, so quite a handful of people have started working their way through this one here. Ordinarily, this one would be pretty empty, but I'm gonna have a look, see here. How many people have completed this conquest? Not too shabby, at least over 100 people. Nice, nice. So, oh wait, it won't let us check to see who's done it legitimately. That's fine. The leaderboards are a bit messed up today. That's alright though. Let's move on. So, very surprised to see people have started conquering curses. That's usually one on the list that hardly anybody ever does.
Not ready yet.
But we'll be fine this season. I'm pretty sure we can conquer the boss rush mode. Whoops. Wrong area. This thing is pretty tanky. Come on.
Still waiting.
Go down, you. Okay, good. We can use those gloves. I'm still crossing my fingers we'll get an early legendary for our build. Maybe something we can even cube. The boss rush mode, there is a conquest if you want to complete for the season, which involves, ooh, nice, which involves you doing the entire gauntlet of boss characters in about 20 minutes. So basically just defeat all the major boss characters in the game in 20 minutes on T10. It's a relatively easy conquest compared to with, say, do all of the acts in an hour.
Didn't see that coming, did
I think arguably that one is the most difficult one. But the boss rush one is, even solo, can be completed rather easily.
Need more time.
With a lot of other partners, you should be able to do that one pretty easily as well. Sometimes if you can partner up with some of the hackers, they can easily take you through the entire gauntlet, no problem.
I don't have enough arcane power.
But because this season I'm not playing as a monk, it may or may not be slightly more challenging. Simply because the wizard doesn't have as good of a teleport skill. I think you get access to only 2 charges with the wizard, whereas the monk gets access to 3 charges. Plus, the cooldown is constant on the monk. With the wizard, you get like 1 charge, and then the second charge has to be used within a couple seconds. So really, it's just 1 charge that you have to use consecutive times in order to fully benefit.
Become more powerful.
Okay, level 59. I think we can start getting Death's Breath by level 60.
I am unstoppable.
Let me have a look between the skills. No, we don't need that. Let's see. Teleport. Yeah, so there are no other ways to extend the teleport unless maybe some of the other armor sets may have a special ability associated with it. I can't remember. But yeah, we're getting very close to maxing out, and then we can actually start the season. It's only taken, what, I think a little under 4 hours to finally max out.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Not too bad if you have nothing better to do. Of course, with more responsibilities, it's much more difficult to complete this season. Last season went by pretty quick, and lasted 6 months in total.
Your grave awaits.
I'll be surprised if this one lasts just as long. And before you know it, Diablo 4 will be out. Which reminds me, as the beta comes closer, I'll probably have to pre-order it. In case you're unaware, there are currently 2 sessions of the beta.
Still waiting.
One for pre-orders, which open up around the 17th of next month. So, in about less than 3 weeks. And then there's
Need
the
more arcane
open
power.
beta for everyone, which is next weekend after. So you don't even have to pre-order the game if you want access to the second session. It's only if you want to have 2 sessions worth of gameplay
You dare attack
that
me?
you should most likely pre-order it. So, are there any guesses as to which will be the top class at launch? I have my money on the sorceress, but I don't know. I have a feeling it could even be the necromancer. Seeing as how the Diablo devs love to include the necromancer in every game since it's been introduced. Yeah, see, same thoughts right there, Dardun. Okay, so that's level 60. Depending on how things go, I might switch over to T1 just to take advantage of gem drops.
I am unstoppable.
At this point, there's no reason not to. Except for trying to get our levels up even faster. It might be slightly slower, but that's fine. Okay, so let's see
Need more
here.
time.
Sweet. More gear over there.
I need arcane power.
So we're still currently going for the Rasha's Meteor build.
Not ready yet.
I haven't exactly started determining what items we need for it yet.
I need healing.
Go down, please.
Still
Okay,
waiting.
there we go. That's only one. Let's complete this area and then we can switch over to T1.
Not ready yet.
That reminds me. Let's stick that on, this on. Anything else that we have to increase our DPS. Oh, sweet. This is a very good item. The Flavor of Time. Normally we would stick this on our follower over there. Because it's one of the few amulets that also emanate, meaning that its legendary ability takes effect whether or not our follower is equipped with it. So let's toss that on, and if we ever happen to see any more pylons, those will be doubly useful.
I am so good.
I astound myself.
I really need to go back and switch out my ruby. That will hopefully enhance our level gains.
Well done.
Just a bit more to go. Man, it's been years since I've played a wizard.
Your grave awaits.
And I forgot how good
Need
it
more
feels.
time.
Let's try to pop those enemies there. Oh, sweet. Channeling pylon.
The Rift Guardian has found you.
Let's get rid of you. This is going to go down pretty quick. Well, relatively. Just got to stand here and let its health melt. And there we go. That might be better. Okay, as for our follower, give her that. And that. And that as well. New rings. And basically anything that increases DPS for the moment.
To go back.
Once we're at 70, we'll worry about the actual build.
You have...
Okay, so only 9 more left to go. I'm gonna leave this on though.
This is well crafted.
And we'll save the stone gauntlets for cubing. And let's fix up our gems. Do we have anything left over? Yeah, so let's upgrade the stash. Why won't these go in? Weird. Must be a bug. In which case, let's go ahead and use that new gem over here. And we should be set. Okay, so now that that's cleared up, let's switch up the difficulty. Currently on Torment 1 now. Alright, so 9 levels left to go. And then we can start working on some other stuff on the checklist. Pretty easy stuff. This might go even faster if we had some teammates, but...
I'm badly.
Welp, that happened. There are surprisingly few people that are willing to party up at the moment. Gotta wait until we hit T16.
I don't have enough arcane
I must wait
power.
longer.
Come on, you. Go down.
I need arcane power.
I must heal.
Still waiting.
Oh, feel free to drop in Dardoon if you're looking to
Need more arcane power.
level up, or you need a Looting buddy.
Not ready yet.
Hold on here.
I need healing.
Especially if you're looking to run bounties.
I don't have enough arcane power.
This lobby is going to be open pretty much
Still waiting.
anytime all season long. As long as I'm on here
Need
playing.
more arcane power.
Sweet, that's another thing we can use.
May their corpses rot here forever.
So for now, all we're looking to do is just to increase DPS as high as possible until we reach 70. Once 70 rolls around, we can start working on our build.
Warming up.
Now, it's unfortunate that we don't get access to Rasha's armor set. That is going to have to come naturally through grinding out and farming for drops. If you're playing other classes, you should probably have an easier time getting stuff to drop for you, though.
I am unstoppable.
We'll just roll with whatever the wizard gets at first, and then we'll switch it up from there. Yeah, bounties are also a good alternative to grinding out levels if you haven't hit 70 yet.
Your defenses are
I just go for Nephilim Rift runs because it's just easier to keep the grind going. Less downtime.
Need
But
more
we'll be
time.
fine here.
I'm just warming up.
Even on T1, it's not nearly that bad. There we go, that's another ring.
How does that feel?
It's absolutely crazy to me, though, that somebody, or not somebody, but some people have already hit the level cap and somehow have managed to get onto the leaderboards
I am unstoppable.
in almost record time. I wish I had a party that was able to help me out like that, but oh well. So, level 63.
I need arcane power.
With any luck, we'll start getting more legendary soon.
Need more time.
I am so good. I astound myself.
No problem. I'll be sure to
Not ready yet.
set my lobby to public in case if you ever need to hop on. Not a problem. I don't normally try to grind the higher GR levels, so it's not a huge issue, whatever class you decide to run with. Sweet. New ring. That is definitely going on. And also, if you're interested in running vaults, I'll be sure to save up a couple
You dare attack me? Do you see that
Still
enemy over
waiting.
there?
in case if I ever have a handful. Sweet. It's kind of unfortunate that they got rid of those sanctified urns or whatever items from last season, because then we could have gotten guaranteed ancient puzzle rings, so could have done what we did last season and just farmed out those things. Not so much this
Didn't
time
see
around.
that coming, did you?
Now you pretty much have to earn those rings the hard way by re-rolling them. Yay. Anyways, let's see here. Deck.
Returning to town.
The exit is all the way over here, I think. Well, that was a huge arena with one exit going off to the path that no one looked for. Sweet. Level 64. Shouldn't be much longer now. Maybe about another hour or so. Maybe even less than an hour. 20 minutes should be fine. Just depends on the drops, really. There's another one. Thankfully, the wizard is blessed with all of the skills that you need early on. So by about level 20-ish, you don't really need to change anything else up. Disintegrate works fine.
Not ready yet.
I am so good.
As well
I
as
astound
these other support skills.
Heal me.
But because this is T1, you also run into these enemy groups that really do a number on you. Well, that's fine. I'll take the added upgrades. Yeah, this thing is pretty bad. Let's switch out that one. That's going to go straight to the upgrade pile. Excuse me, not the upgrade pile, but the cubing pile.
I don't have enough arcane power. Need more time.
Come on, cooldowns. These enemies are in the way. Just waiting on the Archon to replenish. There we go. Okay, so we're guaranteed to win now. Come on, you. Also, make sure to move out of those explosion circles.
Still waiting.
And we're almost done here. Let Let me just get rid of these groups here and then we'll teleport back.
I need arcane power. I need to go back.
Okay, so
I am stronger still.
65. Yeah, remember how I said this would take about 20 minutes? Maybe 15 minutes seems much more likely. Let's upgrade. What about our follower? Not too shabby. So for those of you who have missed it, my currently my gear philosophy at the moment is just to take whatever increases your DPS. You can pretty much ignore everything else for the moment until you reach level 70, at which point you'll start wanting to build out your gear. For now though, just focus on whatever... Oh, what do you know, we can make this. And we don't have the level for it. Let's see, do we have anything here? Yeah, so let's put on the new ruby. Wrong one. And then... whatever topazes we have left, let's upgrade these, and these will help boost our DPS. Could also do the same thing for our follower too. Do we have any emeralds? That'll work. Okay, moving on.
Perfect.
Okay, so 5 more levels to go, which means we have to do one more run or two.
Fate smiles on you today.
For now, let's see if we can get anything useful.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh, what do you know?
That.
On just the first roll, we get a legendary. Huh. Not exactly something that we need, but hell, that's pretty lucky in it of itself. That is some very solid luck. Sweet channeling pylons. That's going to ensure that we get enough power and resource, at least for like 2 minutes or
Need
so.
more time.
If it weren't for these seasons, I don't think I would ever go back to playing Diablo 3, not after having completed the Platinum. But because these cosmetics are still around, that's always been the #1 reason for me coming back to this. Stick on that. And this thing. Otherwise, I probably have moved on to other looters like Borderlands. Which, speaking of, I haven't gotten back to in quite a long while. now for maybe a year or so. Can't remember if it was last year or 2021 where I spent an entire summer just completing the platinums for the Handsome Jack edition, or not edition, but the Handsome Jack collection. Those were some fun times. Managed to get the platinum as well as all the DLC trophies for, what was it, Borderlands 2 and Borderlands,
Not ready.
the pre-sequel. Though, to be honest, I think the pre-sequel one was a step down in terms of gunplay. And even of those two, I don't really like much more than Borderlands 3 or 1. Borderlands 3 is very fun to me. I really love the gunplay in that game. Everything just feels so hefty, like using the shotguns and shooting things and seeing them get blasted back. It just feels so nice.
Heal me.
What was your go-to class in Borderlands 3? I think I ended up playing Amara. If I remember right, I completed the platinum for that one in like 3 months or so, right around the time it first launched. It was a very solid game in my opinion. Even if the writing wasn't nearly as good as the second one. Ah, I see. Yeah, depending on how much you like the writing, the game is either a hit or miss. It just felt like there was so much content in that game. I swear. I finished the first planet and thought, oh, we're about halfway through the game, right? But no, that was like only 25%.
Your spirit is free now, Angel.
And eventually I went back and tried to get to the higher levels, but I ended up just switching it down to, I think, the easier difficulty. Simply because I thought the health scaling was way too out of whack.
Your defenses are nothing.
Oh, hey, a goblin. Come here, you.
Still waiting.
Cool. More gems. But yeah, the health scaling in Borderlands 3, once you reach past the level cap, was super annoying. It was nearly as bad as Borderlands 2, where it felt like enemies took forever just to die, essentially.
Not ready yet.
And to this date, I am still not a fan of the way that the weapon scaling was handled. Where the first game felt like any weapon you picked up could be viable, now you pretty much have to run the epic weapons in order to feel like you're making any bit of a difference. Borderlands 2 especially. 3 still has that problem to some extent, but it's not nearly as bad. I mean, you could still run like a purple weapon. Yeah, right? It's not very fun when you have to look for certain weapons in order to feel like you can succeed. And if the drop rates don't complement that well, you're really just fishing for certain items in order to progress through the game. Diablo, thankfully, isn't the same way. You could complete the entire game without using any of the specific OP builds. If you really want to feel all powerful, though, the drop rates are lenient enough that you don't have to spend all day and all night to get certain things. Not true for the cosmetic stuff, though, but that's fine.
I am
It's just
unstoppable.
cosmetics. It's only if you want to push for the highest levels that the grind becomes unsustainable.
I must
Oh,
wait
come on.
longer.
I'm badly
Kind of trapped
wounded.
here.
How does that feel?
That's fine. It's only because that we're playing on a non-hardcore character that we're not really focusing on upgrading health at the moment. If this was a hardcore character, pretty much all of my focus would go into survivability instead of DPS.
I'm injured.
Yeah, right? There's just so many options to grind out what you need, and loot is never restricted to certain bosses or enemies. And even with certain restricted items, they're usually reasonable to get anyway. Like the bounty drops, those can be completed at any time. And they're less reliant on RNG. Not so much with games with dedicated loot tables. I really don't like that. It takes the fun out of playing the game and puts it more towards just farming. Which is fine in stuff like MMOs, but in a single player RPG that's more focused on dungeon crawling, that's where I draw the line. Because at the end of the day, you're only really competing for the leaderboards, which is basically
If my old
a
masters
glorified
could see me
arcade
now.
board. But if you're teaming up with other players and suddenly they have gear that can face roll everything, it doesn't really feel very fun when you can't compete. Anyways, we are at level 67. Not much left to go, but just keep grinding our way through. 3 levels left to go. We are making very good progress. And then the real fun can begin. Time to start making our build.
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
And also we can finally start progressing through the altar. for the moment, our progress is halted by the fact that we need a Greater Rift Key, which we don't start getting until we reach level 70. Toss on that, and let's keep going.
Need more time.
I need healing. I must.
Oh no. Locked in.
I'm injured.
Okay, so these enemies are fairly tough. A lot of ranged attacks, which we can't really avoid. At least not as a wizard. This build is very reliant on having health regenerate. Doesn't seem like there's much damage reduction. But it doesn't matter, because now we're finished here. Let's head back. And we are only left with 3 levels to go. Well, more like 2.5, but who's really counting? So let's see here. Time to reallocate stuff. And there we go. We can probably get rid of everything else now. Take that. More DPS is always good. We'll keep that for cubing. Alright, final push. We should be able to reach 70 by the end.
Brave the rift.
And this took probably a grand total of 5 hours to max out solo, which lines up just as quickly as the monk. Not exactly quick,
Need
but
more arcane power.
not terribly long either. Whoops, made a bad jump there. We gotta kite these enemies down over here and avoid those purple lasers. And hopefully we'll get our Archon back pretty soon. Come on, you. Stay down, please.
I need arcane power.
Strange magic radiates from these walls.
Come on, you. I guess this guy's making clones, that's why it's feeling nearly impossible to kill. Avoid the lasers. There we go. Thankfully, the altar is doing the heavy lifting here. mostly through doubling our kill streak rewards.
Not ready yet.
I really wish that we had the option to increase legendary drop rates. Maybe that might come later. At least we get the chance to roll for primals this season. Stay down, please. Those characters remind me of the dwarves from Dragon Age. Man, that's a series that I sorely miss. It's just a shame to me that BioWare is not what it used to be. And even then, not every Dragon Age game has been the same anyway. Cool. We are 68. Yeah, I'm going for the Rasha's Meteor build, which is absolutely probably second tier this season. I was gonna say top tier, but I think number one is the Necromancer. But they're very close. They're pretty much neck and neck. Yeah, Dragon Age is a very good series, but it's sad to say that the quality between games is really iffy. Because the first one was really good, even though the combat wasn't all that great. And then the second one, the combat was really weird, but it felt slightly better, but you lose out on some of the options that some of the other folks might have preferred in Dragon Age Origins. Overall, though, I just really love the story in between all of the games. Was not a huge fan of the combat in Dragon Age Inquisition. It tried to take what worked in Dragon Age 2 and slowed it down.
I astound myself.
But the game just felt so janky. It didn't really fit in with what they were trying to go for. Like, there were so many glitches, I ended up taking the one where you could pretty much unlock all abilities for your characters. So you didn't have to pick and choose between whether you wanted to go down one route and leave out the other. I basically just took everything. And as a result, the game felt much better to play.
This is well crafted.
Even though you did have your specializations, which you couldn't really
Fences are nothing.
change once you took it, but having access to all your abilities really made the game much more fun to play. Because then you felt pretty much like in Diablo, where you felt like a badass and could do almost everything and just wipe out everything, even on the hardest difficulties. But even then, some of the enemy encounters were still pretty difficult anyway. Okay, so level 68 and going. 1.5 more levels to go. Now, if only they remastered the Dragon Age games, I would totally play for the channel. I've been considering replaying the Mass Effect games for the channel. But with everything on my table at the moment, it's tough trying to get an open slot.
Your defenses are nothing.
Currently playing through Tactics Ogre, which is a job in and of itself. And that one's still going pretty well, despite the fact that we're still running through the Palace of the Dead. But it shouldn't be much longer. Last time I tallied, there were about 7 more battles left to go until we reach that level 24 shop. And then after we do that, we can jump back to the main game and finish out the neutral route.
We must face another trial, my friend.
And from there, we can hopefully move on to the chaotic route.
Not ready yet.
The only thing I'm not looking forward to is going back to the Palace of the Dead after completing most of the lawful route, because then we have to do the first 24 levels all over again.
If my old masters could
It is a
see me
huge time-consuming... Excuse me, it's a huge time-consuming dungeon crawl. Something that could probably be eased once we get some better gear, and then we could probably toss on the AI battling. I don't know, we'll see how that goes.
now. I'm just warming up.
The Rift Guardian has found you.
Okay, so one more level left to go. Just going based on how many play sessions we've been having with Diablo and Tactics Ogre, I think Tactics Ogre is on pace to
I need to go back.
outrank my time with Diablo. I think I've spent like something like 600 hours on Diablo, but then I look at the count for Tactics Ogre and it's already about half the amount. And that's over several years of playing Diablo. Yeah, and a remake of Ogre Battle will be pretty cool too. I've only had fleeting glances of it on YouTube. Not really through gameplay though. Though I could probably jailbreak one of my Super NTs and then try to download the ROMs for it and try it out. Let's grab that and grab this. But yeah, I'm very unfamiliar with Ogre Battle. You know, that would make for a very good game to release on the Nintendo Switch Online N64 emulator. Okay, so we finally have more than enough of these, so let's put that in there and max it out. Because now we can craft these other gems to help speed up our XP gains. Let's toss that on there, and then let us create that. I'd really like to try out the GBA version of Tactics Ogre, though. The one that's a prequel to Let Us Cling Together. Oh, did you? Congrats. I am half a level away. And then I can start doing the hard part. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never heard about the PS1 version until much later. I was only ever familiar with Square Enix's stuff in terms of JRPGs. And some of Capcom's stuff like Resident Evil. And of course, Metal Gear Solid. Pretty much my go-tos back then when I was younger was the Lunar games, Final Fantasy, Mega Man, Resident Evil, Parasite Eve, The Legend of Dragoon, things like that. Oh, I really hope they bring Parasite Eve over too. If they ever release that on the PS5 side of the emulator, that's definitely going at the top of my playlist. That's cool, the Hydra set. I think I tried to do that set once, maybe a couple seasons ago. I don't think I got very far with it. I think that was probably around the same season as the Frozen Orb 2. Yeah, Parasite Eve, it's a very good game. I have the PS3 and also PS Vita emulated version, but of course I don't have a PS3 anymore. And I haven't really broken out the PS Vita in a long while. Frankly, it's very hard to hold for long periods of time. Okay, so I think we're good with everything else here. Through the last half a level.
Unleash.
And we got a very good map here too.
Only you can defeat this monstrosity.
Alright, the final push. And then we can start moving on to the fun stuff.
If only they could see me now.
So, level 69. 5 hours
Need
worth
more time.
of playtime to get to this level and crap. Spoke a little too soon. Man, these bugs.
Need more arcane power. Still waiting.
Okay. Not too bad. As long as we can get a good combo going on, we should be able to round up to level 70 sooner than later.
You dare attack me?
So yeah, as far as the PS1 classics go, there are quite a number of things I hope will eventually get put on there. It's probably not likely we'll ever see Suikoden 1 or 2 on there,
I must heal.
because that remake should be out within the next year or so. But there's other stuff like Parasite Eve and Mega Man Legends that I hope will make it on there. Or at the very least, I hope that after they complete the Mega Man
How does that feel?
Battle Network collection, that's probably going to be what they're working on next. Oh, and what do you know? Sweet. Level 70.
I am returning to town.
Oh, which game are you talking about? Okay, so level 70. That is going to be it. Well, hooray. Now the fun can begin. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff, and then we'll go back out and try to complete. Oh, Suikoden. Thank you. I tried playing the first game, and then I got very distracted and never went back to it. Same thing for number 2. I have it on the Vita, but I have never gone back to play it. Yeah, I'm going to complete this Nephilim Rift and grab the key, and then we'll move on from there. Now we can just focus on getting Paragon levels. As far as Paragon levels go, I think you can reach around level 800 or so to comfortably complete the rest of the season. I don't think I got much higher than level 800 or so last season by the time we completed the season.
I'm just warming up.
Even though eventually we capped out at around level 1300 or so after we started doing the holiday gift farming. Oh well. Let's see, we got 2 levels already. Let's work on our movement speed. And I don't entirely know which one we should take here. Oh well, since we can always respec, we'll just take on cooldown reduction. Yeah, so Now is when the season really begins. After having gotten up to level 70,
Your defenses are
we can
nothing.
start working our way through getting our build done.
Not ready yet.
Okay, thankfully we killed that thing before we died. Are we out of
I need
space?
to go back.
Probably. So let me see here. I'm going to have a look at my build guide and take a look at what we need to breeze past this portion of the game. For those of you who are wondering out there what guide I'm using, currently I'm over at maxroll.gg. I used to use Icy Veins, but this one seems a lot easier to go through. Plus, it seems to be updated far more frequently. Okay, Talrash's Meteor build. How should we start gearing this up? Oh, absolutely. If you're playing this casually, these guides are not at all necessary. They're only for optimal builds if you really want them. Okay, so here we go. The things we really absolutely need at the moment is a full set of Talrash's elements, but if not, we can start rolling for other stuff like Mempo of Twilight.
You look like you could use a new
I think that's a head build.
indeterminate.
Yeah, that's a helm. So we're gonna go for the helmet first. Oh, what do you know? We already got one piece. For now, though, we'll just hold on to the Talrash's helmet.
Fortune favors the bold.
And let's see, what is Nilfur's Boast? Oh, okay. Nilfur's Boast is a legendary boot set. Let's try and see if we can get either that or Talrash's boot set.
Oh, isn't that nice?
That isn't it.
Don't forget, luck always changes.
That isn't it, but that's a better version of what we just got.
My father would be proud of you. What a steal.
That is too expensive.
That's fine. Since we didn't get what we needed, we also got this, so we'll put those on. We'll toss on the firewalkers on our follower.
Magnificent.
And we'll put these away. So right off the bat, we already have one piece of the Talrasha set. Pretty good, very lucky. We can also perhaps upgrade our other leftover
Need
boots
more
through the
time.
cube. In case we can... No, we don't have enough Death's Breath. That's fine. Let's toss everything away. I don't need to worry so much about XP at the moment. That will come naturally. Let's toss everything inside, and now let's continue on with this. I need to get a Greater Rift key to sacrifice for the altar. Also, I think I forgot to put on my other ability. So let me have a look here. What abilities are we supposed to use for now? Okay, so for our passives, we need Power Hungry. The second one is going to be Elemental Exposure. Third one should be... what is this? Blur. Where's that one? That is for defensive purposes. And the last one is going to be... where is it? Galvanizing Ward. Okay, so that is going to be more defensive in nature. Cool. So our passives are all set up.
I never imagined such a creature.
Now we just need to focus on gearing up. Pretty nice.
How does that feel?
Now we should be able to move on further in the altar. Since we're at level 70, we can focus on
My knowledge increases.
increasing our progress there. It's much more important to focus on your build though, but who's to say we can't do both at the same time?
Laid low.
The Tal Rasha set will drop naturally though. We'll just focus on killing whatever
Still
we
waiting.
can, increasing our Paragon points, and also continue our way through the altar. Now, unfortunately, the game does lock you to only 2 nodes until you reach level 70. That's because of the the Greater Rift Keystone, which we don't get access to until we reach level 70 and into our once we reach our Paragon points.
Need more time. I didn't think I could get any better.
Sweet. Level 7.
If only they could see
If
me
we can get a
now.
broken crown, that would be incredible for us.
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
Come on, go down you. There we go. We get only 1, but 1 is all that we need.
I am returning to town.
Let's head back and continue.
Well,
Nicely done.
Oh, what do you know? Did we complete something? More on that in a bit, though. Let's upgrade our Paragon points. We're going to focus on movement speed
That
first,
is too expensive.
and then cooldown reduction. Defense-wise... let me see. Hmm. Trying to find it. Okay, so here we go. Priorities for Paragon points. Okay, so it's gonna be for our core points, we want movement speed up first. That's a given. Surprisingly, not this one though. For offensive purposes, we're going to take critical hit damage first. And then, let's see. For defense, we want higher armor. And then for utility, we want higher area damage. That's going to help ensure we boost through quicker. Let's upgrade the blacksmith.
Not ready yet.
And last but not least, where is... Ah, here we go. The mystic. There we go. We completed that portion. All of the side characters are fully upgraded. We don't have any materials for cubing stuff yet. We're gonna have to wait on that in a bit. Let's see, our follower can use this, can use that. We'll also want to focus on getting legendaries for our follower as well.
Yes? Why do you keep glancing over at Kadama?
Oh, just making sure she isn't up.
Okay, so with that completed, we have some extra blood shards. Let's see, what do we need to roll for? Right, I think we're trying to go for boots, so let's try again.
Such a brave soul. Don't forget, luck always changes.
That's not what we want.
Don't forget, luck always changes.
I can't afford that.
Nope. Probably gonna have to wait. That's not good. We don't need the blackthorn spurs, so let's go ahead and salvage those. We'll keep the iron toe mud sputters for cubing. Okay, so what to do now? Let's head on over to the altar and see what we can do with it. Not a big fan of having the altar be placed way out over here, but I guess the devs can find a better place to put it. Okay, so we are able to upgrade to our third node here. We got a choice between either maxing out the movement speed or increasing pools of reflection. We want to move down to this side though. Let's see, where is it? Okay, so we want to take on Vigor. And that's going to be... Yeah, eventually we want to hit Vigor. That is the second thing we need to do. But also we want to have double bounties. So, hold on, let me see here. Yeah, so we're going to want to get to these two as soon as possible. So there's a node here for doubling bounties as well as over here. This is Vigor. We need these two ASAP for our build. So let's see here. Since we're already down here, to get down to these two ASAP, we just have to keep continuing down this tree. Movement speed is going to be acquired through Paragon points pretty easily, so no need to waste any time on that. Let's grab this one here. It increases damage against elites. Sweet. Now we need a class set helm. We could either do this one of two ways. We can either complete the chapter 2 portion of our the chapter 2 portion of our season journey will give us Hadric's. Yeah, it'll give us Hadric's gift, and let's see here. For the wizard, it only gives us Typhon's Veil, which we don't need. We want Tal Rasha's stuff. It's an either-or situation, but we're going to sacrifice the Typhon's Fronds, which is a headpiece. So you know what that means. We have to complete this chapter here. And then we can move on to the next node. Unless we get lucky. Let's see, do we have any... No, we don't have any more. So it's either sacrifice the headpiece that we already have, or we can hold on to this and sacrifice the headpiece that comes from Hadric's gift. Decisions, decisions. Let me have a look real quick. Because we can always re-roll for more Tal Rasha stuff anyway. Okay, so let's see here. You know what? I think we'll just go ahead and try to complete the chapter 2 rewards, and we'll save the Tal Rasha's headpiece. Okay, so what do we have to do here? Craft a level 70 weapon or armor piece. That's pretty easily done. Let's go over to weapons. And as far as items that we can equip, well, is this one-handed or two-handed? Doesn't say, so we'll just make this. Okay, so that covers that. Now what? Kill Urzael, we can do that. Kill Queen Aranea, we can do that. And craft a level 70 ring. Well, here we go. Okay, so having done all that, we can just do the kill objectives now.
If you insist.
And that will probably complete this session, I think. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and flip back the difficulty so we can rush through Urzael and Queen Aranea. Queen Aranea is Act 1. Let's go. Queen Aranea should be pretty easy though.
Your defenses are nothing.
Especially with our gear and our ability set, we should have no problem here. Urzael is going to be annoying though because we don't have very fast movement speed. It's going to take a while for us to make the trek over.
I am unstoppable.
And until we get our Rasha set, I'm not going to change our skills yet. That's going to come later.
Your grave awaits.
There's little point in changing it up right now because we can't take advantage of it.
Need more
Without the
time.
armor sets, some of these abilities are very lackluster. But we are making very good progress.
I become more powerful.
Thank you. Give us more gems. More gems mean more power.
If only they could see me now.
If you're looking to fully upgrade your character, you'll need tons and tons of gems. Especially with the way that we need to craft them for augmenting our ancients.
Still waiting.
This isn't in the way.
I used to be one of them, ordinary, untouched, until her voice came to me. Then I knew how I must serve. I must kill the one who threatens my mistress.
The way out
and
is
the
over
dark
here, I think.
power that created her. I have been chosen.
Not ready yet.
And I guessed wrong. Well, maybe not.
Need more time. I am unstoppable.
This looks like the right way. Spiders. I feel like I'm one of the few people that don't really get freaked out by spiders.
How does that feel?
I mean, I'm perfectly fine grabbing a napkin and then pinching them. And feeling them go pop between my fingers. I know some people get really freaked out by that. But what can I say? I'm a monster. Yeah, anywho, let's take care of this queen spider. That was pretty quick. Okay, so time for Urzael. A bit of a bummer that we don't get the marker for his location. Yeah, some people really get freaked out by spiders, and I'm usually the one they call for if they need to exterminate them. I've done that for spiders, and various other creepy crawlies. You're braver than I am, Dairdun. I'd usually try to keep a napkin on. Normally I don't want to get bit, so
Not ready yet.
I use that napkin as a sort of layer of protection. Although sometimes whenever
Still waiting.
it's like the dark of night and I can't tell what's crawling on me, sometimes that happens. Do we just go in a huge circle? Crossing my fingers this doesn't lead to a huge circle.
If only they could see me now.
Also, I keep forgetting about these things. It is always a huge priority to increase your movement speed. The faster you can get to the end, the faster you can complete your goals. That is a huge circle. Also, don't be afraid to abuse the hell out of your teleport.
We must face another trial, my friend.
Sweet, level 11.
I think Oh, get away!
Not ready yet.
You know one looter, well, Diablo-style looter that I've been wanting to play? Marvel's Ultimate Alliance.
Need more time.
That game's always been on the back of my mind, and I have never gotten to play it.
Still waiting.
I feel like it would be a good match for
I am
a Diablo-style game. Upgrading your Marvel characters like Iron Man. Okay, so we're gonna ignore the bounty and head straight for Urzel. Cross your fingers we can do this in one take.
Soon demon spawn like you will be gone forever.
Are you finished? No one threatens my people.
The demon!
I don't have enough arcane power.
Yeah, it's always been in my library, and then once I have time to play it, it's like I got all these other things to do at the moment. But yeah, that's going to complete chapter 2.
I need to go back.
We are about, I want to say, 1/8 of the way. About 25% done with the season, I think, maybe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 2 out of 9 things done here. 2 out of 9. Now we just need to kill Zoltan Kuhl, kill Rakanoth, do a couple bounties, and then cube an item. Okay. The real challenge is completing the entire altar, not necessarily the stuff for the season. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it'll take long at all. Let me see here. Let's keep our legendaries on. At this point in the game, it's much more important to keep legendaries on our follower instead of trying to upgrade DPS.
Thank you.
But as for ourselves, no legendary drops though. How unfortunate. Okay, so we can pick up our rewards now. Let's claim them. Yeah, so now we have the gloves and the helm. What does this set do anyway? Oh. It is a Hydra focus build set. Well, this would be nice to have, but I am going to sacrifice this for another node. So we won't be using any of the Hydra skills. Let's upgrade the next node and see what this gives us. Cool. Okay, so this synergizes really well. For our next chapter, we want to roll through and complete as many bounties as we can. That will take us through to the next node. Most definitely. Plus, we're still focused on the Rasha build, so it is no problem at all. Okay, so let me see here. We can kill Zoltan Kuhl and Rakanoth pretty easily. These bounties will take a bit. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick run through and kill Rakanoth and Zoltan Kuhl. And then that's going to cover this play session. So yeah, the next two nodes on our checklist is to finish this one and then go for this one. Perfect. Some of these other nodes are pretty wacky, like pets can pick up items. You would think at this point in the game that'd come naturally, but we still have to do it manually. Increase your chance to dodge. Double the chance to find a legendary item. This one feels like it should have been added as a bounty reward. Or not a bounty reward, but a seasonal reward anyway. Pets pick up Death's Breath. Still, that's another thing I feel like should have been added to the game a long time ago for pets. Gain passability. I don't know what that means. Okay, so let's back out really quickly and let's run through Zoltan Cool and Rakanoth on Master. This is going to be on Act 2. These two are going to be fairly quick.
Not ready yet.
Let's just run through and eliminate them. Also, Paragon Point. Completely forgot. Stay closer, you. And that is it. Now for Rakanoth. No other rewards, but oh well. No legendaries, no nothing.
Only you can defeat this monstrosity.
It looks like we're going to have to try to find some other folks to join in on some lobbies. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll find somebody that can take us all the way up to T16.
I need arcane power. Still waiting.
Anyways, let's move on here. The next time we play this, we'll keep the lobby open though, so if anybody wants to join, you guys will be free to do so next time.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Also, I'm guessing this time around we have to create the Staff of Hurting. Would have been nice to keep it and then use it so we can get the Rainbow Portrait. Something that I don't think I've done since the PS3 version of Diablo 3. Okay, say goodbye, Rakanoth. Okay, that is it for this session. Let me just do a bit of cleanup and then we'll do our outro. Yeah, I don't remember if it was easy or not back on the PS3 version. It honestly didn't feel very difficult, but maybe that got changed up in the time between. Okay, so quick run through on what we've done so far. We've completed Chapter 2 and... oh, what the heck? Excuse me for a second there. One of my chairs fell. Oh, nice. Okay, so... yeah. Let's see here. As far as our progression is concerned, we finished Chapter 2. We completed several nodes in the altar. We are currently working our way through Chapter 3. We need to complete some bounties next time and cube an item to wrap up Chapter 3. And then Chapter 4... Chapter 4 doesn't look bad at all. This can be easily done. The jewel crafting recipes will come naturally. About the most difficult thing for Chapter 4 to complete will be Sidea. We need to kill her at T4, in which case we're not properly geared for that yet. And then we can start on the Slayer tier and Champion Destroyer, the later ones. Not too bad. And of course we finally reached level 70. Not too bad for 2 hours worth of gameplay. But that's going to cover our session for today. We'll be back later with, I think, maybe what's on the rotation. Tactics Ogre? Yeah, so we'll be back on later tonight with Tactics Ogre and our dungeon crawl through the Palace of the Dead and the level 24 shop. So, fun times ahead. If you guys are currently watching this on YouTube, make sure to like the video. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. What class are you guys currently playing as, and how far have you gotten through the season currently? How are you guys enjoying the Altar of Rites? So far, I find it pretty neat. There are some new abilities and roles that I feel like should have been added to the game as far back as maybe the first or second year when the game was released, like pets being able to pick up items and whatnot. I feel like that should have been added to the game a long time ago. But better late than never. We'll see how the rest of the altar goes. Make sure to share the video out wherever you guys can. Help us grow the community. And also hit the subscribe button if you guys would like to see more of this season's playthrough. If you guys have missed out on any of the previous sessions, feel free to hit up the playlist on the channel. Make sure to follow us over at twitter.com/LunarlightGames for deals, discounts, as well as news stories about the gaming world. If you guys are looking to support us, feel free to drop a donation over at paypal.me/LunarlightGames. Every dollar is very much appreciated, but if you guys can't contribute, that is perfectly fine. Please continue to view our videos. That will help us out just as much. And of course, make sure to follow us over at twitch.tv/LunarlightGames. Hopefully one day we might migrate back over there, but for now I guess we'll be streaming to YouTube for the time being. Make sure to hit the notification bell across all the platforms to get updates as soon as they're made available. That is going to cover this session, but we'll be back for more. And hopefully we'll run through to the end of the season as well as the Altar of Rites so we can claim that pretty nifty set of wings. But yeah. Hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys will come back to check us out in the future. Have fun, guys, and take care.